Morning everyone. Few project shares and also a wee haul that I've got. So first of all, project shares. This I made last night for Amanda. Amanda kindly, when I had my challenge, she won second prize, which was £20. She kindly passed it over to Teresa Carr because I was stuck between Geraldine's shawl and Teresa's hug box. I love both of them, and both of them really touched me. But I could only afford one main prize. So Amanda kindly offered to pass her prize over to Teresa, and I agreed with the agreement that I could sort Amanda out with something else at a later date. So that was fine. I then became unwell and really didn't craft very much. But the last week or so I have hammered it and I have done really well. I have sent a lot of parcels out. I have another lot ready to go. I'm just about to weigh them and get them in printed off so I can get my Hermes to come and collect them, hopefully tomorrow. Anyway, I'm not showing inside it because there's nothing done to the inside and I have already packed it. So it'll just be the outside, you see. But this is the top. And it's vintage napkin that Teresa Carr kindly sent me. I'm sure it was Teresa. And what I've done is I've glossy accented it so that it's very durable. You can scratch it, spill things on it, and nothing's going to waste it. Bloody glue strands. Then up here, I just made a tiny handmade flower. It isn't stitched, it's all glued. What I done was I got a small white paper rose. Excuse me a minute, I'll just see if I can clear that a bit for you. There we go. I got a clear, small white rose. The pink that you see round about it's actually cotton candy stickles, so it is a glitter. And what I done was I just glued the gathered lace trim round the back of the flower a few times, and then using my scissors I just cut them so that it looked shabby. I then just added a light tiny few strands of pearls, again just to add a wee bit of something. Over this side, two wee tiny bits of lace, glued down the middle, separated them while it was still damp, so that the lace was still joined but it opened up fully, and then just three wee diamanti from a chain that was also sent to me by Teresa Carr, and two wee bits of pearl trim just to give it the antennae. Really, really simple, but it does the job. Down the bottom, I don't have any decoration because I didn't want to take away from the graphic. I think the graphic's really pretty with the glossy accent. It works perfectly. Round the sides, I have got two layers of this white tiny trim here. There's two layers of that. Underneath, it has been painted, so it does look all the way round the same. In fact, some of that has actually stuck to the paint. That's alright. And then just to tie it in with the top of the box, I have added a tiny wee braid, and it's 2 strands basically. One's an iridescent and one's just plain white, and it just sets it off nicely. It kind of barriers where the lace finishes and the box top begins. Down here we've got 2 layers of pink, and the reason I chose pink is because I had the pink flower up above, and Amanda loves pink, but I didn't want it to be screaming pink, because the last box I made Amanda was pink, pink, pink and more pink. So I thought something different. Underneath it is decopatched with a napkin all the way around, so it's fully done. Above the pink trim is just the daisy trim. I was contemplating putting a tiny flat back on it and decided against it because I thought it would be too much. I wanted to keep it really elegant, so that's what I done. I just added this white acrylic rose just so you can see that's the front. That's it. That's the only difference. Down below I have added a bit of white cream felt for pearls. I need to actually order more of them, that's what I meant to do this morning. And just a bit of card with my name on it. So that's the wee box. And this was the smallest box out the Bare Basics Paper Mania range that I have been ordering. And I'll be honest with you, it does hold a fair bit. For it being small, it's definitely worth using. And as I said, you can see yourself, there is a fair amount of detail on that. And it's not overdone, it is just right. So that's Amanda's wee box. I then had to make my dad something for Father's Day. As I've mentioned, my dad is very difficult to buy for. He doesn't have any, excuse me, this camera's driving me bananas, doesn't have many hobbies, doesn't really go out very much now because of his mobility. He's a man of very, very simple needs. It's always slippers, whiskey, a wee box of chocolates, and that's it really. So I intend when he's in Ireland to give money to get him and Mum to go out for a nice meal and enjoy the company together. But meanwhile, while I was out on boxes, I thought, why don't I do one for my dad to put beside his bed, put his watch in, his loose change, rosary beads, any wee knickknacks he has lying about his table, he can put them in here and keep them safe, and it's something personal that he can keep. So this is what I made him. It was very easy to do. What I done first of all was I put a layer of homemade gesso, and I used Caroline Withington's recipe. Obviously tweaked it a little because I like mine really, really, really thick, because I always do seal it anyway, and I felt that it worked better for me. But that's what I done. I put a thick layer of gesso on, then I used, I'm trying to remember the name, Artiste chocolate, is that right? one of the brown colours from Artiste. I'm sure it was chocolate, but I will double check that before I post it and I'll put it in the description. While the chocolate wasn't set, I then put on a thick layer of Crackle Medium, and I used the Dreamweaver Crackle. Once I had put that on, I then used my heat gun on it, which is why you'll see the bubbles on it, but I liked that. Once the Crackle Medium had dried, I then used, what's the name of it? Dylusions coffee, ground coffee, and I put a good few layers of that on. I didn't spray it. I'm a bit of a freak where that's concerned. I hate mess, and I hate the clean up of the bloody sprays. It's different with Peril ones where you really do need to spray it to get the effect out of it. But for like Dylusions colour wash, I use my brush because it drives me insane, the mess. So I used quite a big brush and just held it by its side and went over the top a good number of times so the ink ran, and then I just brushed it in, and then I went properly on the grain of the wood effect I was trying to make. And I done that a few times to get the right colour that I was looking for. Once I had the colour I wanted, I then used Decapatch glue to seal it and give it that varnished effect. But what it done was it actually turned it like a verdigris. It was quite green, and at first I panicked. I thought, crap, it's going to turn out terrible. And it did lighten it in places. You'll see it over here. There's some light patches. But wood does that anyway. So I wasn't fussed with that. And that was how I finally got that effect. Before I done it on the before I done it on my box, I used an ATC card and tried it out first to see what effect I was going to get. That'll be my order from Matalan, I hope, for Jaden for his holiday. To check the effect before I put it on the box because I didn't want to waste the box. I then decided, once I had done that, to use this on the top. There's cogs, wheels, a clock face, and again I went over it with a Decapatch, but you'll notice it's really, really, really patchy. But that's fine, I don't mind that. I'm quite happy with the effect it finally gave from Matalan. Yeah, that's fine. Jaden for his holidays, boxes and things, and more socks, because I think he eats them. Thank you. And then I put this ribbon round this braid. What are you looking for? Okie dokie, then. And then just this wee brass button, just to show this is the front of the box. And down here, because he's my dad, I didn't want to make it too overdone, but I wanted a wee heart on it, because I do absolutely adore my dad. Inside I have done absolutely zilch, because no one's going to see inside it. So my dad's dresser, and no one's going to see it. Underneath, rather than the cream, I added a brown felt. I think I got it in one of my magazines a while ago. Just a square felt piece. And again, I've added my feet on, just the pearl feet, and my wee Made with Love. So that was my dad's box, and as I said, it's very masculine, it's very simple, there isn't a lot of extras on it, apart from the top, which is quite decorative, but I didn't want it to be boring. Right, now I can't tell these two apart, if I'm honest. Yeah, I can. I had ordered two flings. Now I'm trying to just see the prices, and it was from a UK company for a wee change. Stretch it out so I can see the prices. Right. Let's see. I can't remember how much that was a metre then. Let's see if I can calculate it. I'm hopeless, my wee brain's just not working today. 8 times 75, right. So this one, this one is an open rhinestone, and it's the metal one. Put that down there, and it's silver. I'm going to try and clear this in a bit. There we go. Beautiful, and it's very, very delicate. It's not very big at all. I would say it's probably a mil, maybe 2 mil at a big risk. It's maybe 2 mil. Trying to see. I mean, there's a 1p piece next to it. Tiny. I mean, it's probably about the width of a 1p piece. You know what I mean? It is absolutely toty. Yep, the width of a 1p piece. And I got, trying to see if I can find it. They were doing a deal where you bought 5 metres and you got an extra metre free, so I bought 6 metres and I paid £8.75. That sounds a lot, but if you're only using it a little bit, this will last me a long time. There is a fair amount out there. And this was the open chain. You'll notice there is a fair space between that. And the postage and packing was £2, but that's because it was coming through the UK and I did need it in a bit of a hurry for a project I've got in mind. This one was a bit dearer. This one was, wait, I'll just tell you, clear. That one was £1.75 a metre. This one was £1.90 a metre, but it's a closed chain, so there's more diamantes on it. You'll see, I mean, that's the side view. You see there's virtually no in between on it, and for the likes of, like I had just shown you with Amanda's, for the wee butterfly in between, this is ideal for that, because you're only going to use a tiny wee bit, and there's not going to be loads and loads of metal shown. And again, this was on that offer where you bought 5 metres and you got an extra metre free, so it cost me £9.50 plus the £2 postage and packing. But again, as I said, this will last me for ages, because as I said, it's only for butterflies and whatnot, and you're only using maybe 4 or 5 little diamantes at a time. Then we've got these, and I just need to find them. Nope, not those ones. That's them. And it's 72 crystal loose beads, and they're in pink. I had got asked to do a rosary bead for a wee girl for her communion last month, and I really struggled with my pink crystals. I got a delivery another day as well for them, only the other ones I got in were 3x4mm, which are toty, but these ones are the 6x4, and they're not a bad size. For a wee pair of fingers to use the rosary, they're ideal, and I will use the ones for, you've got like 10 Hail Marys, that's what they'll be for, and then, no, I'm a liar. No, I'm right, 10 Hail Marys and then an Our Father. The Our Father I will use 8x6 bead on, so that it's a slightly bulkier and they can, if they're praying or whatever, they're just moving it through their hands consciously. They'll know by the size what prayer they're on. So that's why I've done that. And there's 72 in that, and I paid 99p. These ones here are beautiful. In my colour anyway, but where am I? They're small purple Aurora Borealis acrylic hearts, and they were 31p for 50. But they all just go in my big box, and I just take out what I need. Then I got these ones here, and they are green, but they're like a diamond cut. I'm saying green, they actually say olive Aurora Borealis, and there's meant to be 25 in it, but I think there might be more in there. And they were 42p, but they are so shimmery and so shiny. They're just gorgeous. And lastly, I got these ones here. I'm trying to see if I have anything else there, but I don't. I got these cameos, and I got 10 of them for 60p. They're a yellowy colour, but I'm thinking if you're putting that on with maybe a green lace or a white lace, it'll look fab. You won't even notice that they're green, it's yellow. So that's my wee haul for the now. Yep, not doing much else now. I'm just going to go and unpack his stuff that's just came from Matalan, and make sure it obviously fits when he comes in from school. And then I am going to have printed out the stuff for my Hermes and get all that sent off. So fingers crossed. But anyway, thanks for watching, and hope you all have a good day, and sorry you're all still blurry. Sorry. But yeah, I hope you all have a really good day, and I will be back, don't know, maybe later tonight. I have got another project, and now these have arrived, I may be able to do it today, but it'll depend on how long it takes me to get all the stuff for my Hermes sorted. Anyway, bye for now, speak later, bye!